Mid lane, I believe it's going to be Sanking played on a mid lane,
Yep.
so he should not have a good time. Like, the lane's going to push in into the tower, Sanking's going to have a free time. On the other hand, Sanking, I don't feel like Sanking's winning the games. It's just like, if this goes game late, I'm talking too much. I'll go with Fnatic. I'll actually go with Fnatic.
You're going with the Ricky.
Yeah, I'm going with the Ricky. It's
Okay.
too greedy, but I don't think Sanking wins the game.
Biko?
Okay. Well, we've seen this amount of stuns against Moon before. Arrows have been his issue, so I'm going Boom.
He does
can't
love catching
avoid
them.
the burrow arrow. It's going to be a problem for him.
Well, let's see how game number 3 all plays out. Take it away, Bcop and Lacoste.
Thank you very much. Game number 3. It's going to be Fnatic Boom looking to break the 1-1 tie. We'll see if they can do it. I do kind of agree with you. We've seen Sand Kings like destroy lane and then do nothing. You know, I'm worried
so
about
many times. You know, if you can get that ball rolling, you get those burrow strike epicenters in. You're also playing like Morana plus Sanking into Abaddon. Abaddon loves to fight into that, but then on the other side you have like there's so many stuff that counters each other. Natural Order, great against Medusa. Then again, they don't have anything against the Riki. Couple of stuns. They have some disarms, but no silence.
So setting up for the horn. See how this goes. It doesn't look like either team will really skirmish in this game. Or skirmish at the beginning of this game, I should say.
Begins.
Dreamcell's not even there. Let's place down that early ward. Or, well, they've got the ward placed down by Fnatic early in the lane, and Dreamcell's just sitting here bottom. Didn't want to be involved, just in case. Plus, he can use this time to be AFK for a little bit.
Yeah, you know, just no, I'm just
go run to grab a drink.
I'm just thinking, you know, about this mid Sanking. Like, yeah, he's gonna start with the caustic, push the lane, and Ricky doesn't get the single CS at least the first wave where he's close. So Mikoto's gonna have like a free time. Oh god, I've seen this move before. Like, you try to go for a greedy play, you almost die. So Moon's gonna get harassed quite a lot. Like, Sanking completely free lane. On the bottom, also a lot of harassment from Fnatic's side. You know, you have this Morphling plus ET. I want to see how they're going to play it out. A lot of damage from Thunderstrike and Hoof Stomp. Like, Kescute, usually he, on the Elder Titan, plays very aggressive. I don't think he can allow to do that, even though he has like 100 damage. Should be very careful. One Thunderstrike, one Hoof Stomp could be in a bit of a trouble.
Yeah, he's got to be worried about, especially once these heroes get to level 2. Kescute gets a little bit too aggressive. Yes, you do right-click pretty hard, but it won't matter if you can't do anything while you're stunned or kind of corralled with the kinetic field. Doing a lot of damage on a Raven. FBZ, though. Mystic Snake comes in and hits. DJ with the Aphotic Shield. That'll pop, but doesn't get the kill on either Hyde or FBZ just yet, and FBZ will pop that south.
This is a lane where Medusa plus Abaddon should not get a kill. It's just something that should not happen unless you mess up the lane. Because Pango, a level 1 Swashbuckle is a 20-second cooldown. You put yourself in a bad spot, possibly a hit from Abba. He still didn't have a single point in Curse of Avernus. Now he gets it.
Yeah, so he's got that Aphotic Shield, he's got the Curse. We'll see what he can do with this, how aggressive he's going to play. We've seen aggression in all 3 lanes. It hasn't resulted in a kill just yet. But I'm certainly interested to see where First Blood's going to get laid down, as Mikoto is making Moon's life pretty difficult. Although he pushes it under the tower.
Yeah, Ricky has a lot of base regen, plus he has regen coming from the tower, and has a lot of damage, so he can CS underneath the tower. So it's not that big of a difference, you know. Sanking's having a free time, but so is Ricky. Like, he might need to bring a bit more in terms of regen. He's also not a hero that buys a bottle, so just should invest into healing cells. Oh, nice dodge.
And he's going to go for Mikoto. Forced to use that Sandstorm.
Contract complete.
So Ricky, while he's getting pressured, he's still making it A little bit difficult there from Makoto. We haven't exactly seen Sand Kings feel effective start to finish. Where's the difference going to be needed to be made?
My biggest concern about this hero is he's always going to be this epicenter burrow strike hero, no matter what happens, no matter how many items you got. It's like these abilities don't scale. Like you hit your peak timing with the Blink Dagger plus 1 defensive item.
Keski taking a lot of damage. Doesn't get caught by the kinetic field. I like this from Makoto too. He's pulling the creep wave over and using that sandstorm as well as the caustic to just finish off that little neutral camp right by the mid lane. So we'll see as Makoto just backing away. Water runes controlled, 1 for each side.
Moon buys a Raindrop, buys Band of Elven Skin, a bit more damage, more sustain against the Sand King. Like, Sand King can't kill him once he gets level 6. He has a Blink Strike, he has Tricks of the Trade, so I don't think there's enough damage, especially with also this infused Raindrop picked up.
Right.
So Sand King has 36 CS, Ricky has 26. Moon's still doing a very good job as Ricky on the mid lane.
We'll have to see if he can really bolster the farm there for Moon, because he is sitting about a full level behind Makoto, of course, with the creep wave pushing in and just Makoto being able to clean it up so quickly. I'm thinking about what I want to see Makoto build early. He's got 1,200 gold saved up. Is this going to be just an early Blink Dagger?
Most likely. I also wouldn't mind seeing, I don't think anyone did it, but like Aghanim Scepter is really good on sinking. It's kind of a replacement for a Blink Dagger, but then you don't have it when you have 2,000 gold. You have it when you have 4,000 gold, which is a big of a difference. So you're a bit missing your timing. If Sanking can get close.
Burrow Strike looking for the arrow. It's followed up with the Sandstorm. Moon's dead. So 1 for 1 on the arrow on Moon. That's really big.
A bit risky from Ricky to go there and try to go for a rune. Just should farm underneath the tower. This is a hero that can't make many aggressive plays. Now has the power tread, needs level 1 CS to be level 6. You should also be able to place a sentry on a mid lane to see Sanking.
Makoto goes into the Sandstorm, but they've got Dust. He's got no mana. He's dead.
And there's also a Region Rune on the top. Good kill. I believe that was Ricky who bought that Dust. Yeah, that was Ricky.
So he came prepared, ready to go in into Makoto, who didn't have the mana to do anything but use that Sandstorm.
Like Thunderstrike gives vision, but they lost it. So pops the Dust, they get a kill, and now he's back on track. I'm switching to Network because Sanking, a lot of these creeps are also coming from the jungle, from the small camp. So yeah, 500 gold difference.
And they place that ward up on the stairs, so Dire have some good vision coming through over towards mid. And they're watching him move over, potentially to get a kill on a DJ who they see under their own vision. And he's just cleaning up inside the jungle.
Ricky's job in this game, I feel like I'm just talking about Ricky quite a lot because not the hero that we see often. Diffusal Blade and Shard, like this is the build this game.
Right.
Plus Orb of Corrosion, like gives you this cheap damage, the slow. Raven on top lane, roll, Swashbuckle available.
And he doesn't have any mana, arrow doesn't land.
What a play! He actually uses Stampede to be able to run away from the arrow. That was nicely done.
And got the glimpse. Ooh.
1 leap charge, he's good. No point to chase him, just let him be.
Oh, the damage? Not enough. So going back to your point about wanting to see Sand King go Ags earlier on, I really agree with that.
Maybe that's the play, you know. Might be wrong here, but we'll have to see. Right now, he's scouting the ancient camp. We'll try to farm it up with the Sandstorm. Uses the healing salve as well, has a bottle. Gonna take him some time, but at least taking the stacks away from Medusa, that's gonna be big.
And it'll start to get easier with Caustic starting to pop. And yeah, they just clean up this stack, get a lot of gold. Makoto should be pretty happy about this. There's nothing DJ can do as he watches these stacks just disappear.
Like right now, I would want him to get that Aghanim Scepter.
Instead of
Because
the Blink
he's
Dagger?
super farmed. Yeah, instead of a Blink Dagger, because he's super farmed. Probably going to end up getting the Blink Dagger, but we'll see. Because it gives you stats, you know. Blink Dagger is just an initiation tool.
High cost Thunder Strike with the Blink Strike. They'll get the kill. Look to turn this around and at least get jabs as a return. They will. Moon's over here, and they placed down a sentry, so they could have vision on Moon, but now he's out of it. The Blink Dagger, that's purchased by Makoto.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And one of the reasons why, you know, I'm not that big a fan of a Sanking mid lane is because you like want to do stuff right now. You have a Blink Dagger, you also don't have a single point in Epicenter, so like you're just gonna show your Blink Dagger, or
Dire's middle
It's
tower
actually going to
is
get
under
delivered
attack.
into the ward anyway, so they know he has it. Or
so yeah,
should
they
if
know
clicked him.
something is happening. Possibly rotation to the bottom lane
Radiant's
to
bottom
secure the
tower
tower,
is
which
under
is
attack.
already super low.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Trying to grab it. There's the
Radiant
glyph.
structures are fortified.
Meanwhile, they're trying to take a top tower of their own.
Radiant's
They've
bottom
moved
tower
Dream of
is
Cell
under
over
attack.
towards
Radiant's bottom
mid,
tower
and Moon's
is
actually
falling.
wrapping around on this.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
See if they can get anything going to try and get this kill onto the Ricky. They want to rotate towards mid to help out Dream of Cell, but they don't know he's there at the moment.
So far, so good from Fnatic. They didn't lose the laning stage. They're keeping the game even. They have much, much better late game. Ricky plus Medusa just feels super strong. No one to burn the mana on Medusa. No percentage-based damage. Good thing is they're going to have natural order, and they're going to have a disarm against Medusa. So these are two like big things that Medusa needs to care about.
Arrow comes in, and that will land Jab's dead as they rotate with that smoke.
Dire's middle tower
I guess my question
is under
becomes,
attack.
do you want the Ags, and is that just to turn into the Sand King, get those burrow strikes out, and have that extra control? Abaddon as well as the Centaur moving in. Swashbuckle comes through. They've got Tricks of the Trade right on top of the burrow strike hits, and that is onto Moon. Oh dear! They'll kill off this Ricky. They'll look towards the back. DJ does have level 6. Remember, he will fall. He doesn't have the borrowed time, and they'll go after this Centaur. This is going to be 3 here for the side of Boom with the Earth Splitter getting the kill.
Dire's middle tower is under
Definitely
attack.
did not expect Fnatic to try to take this fight. Their team fight is much, much weaker. They don't have one hero, which is Medusa, who's not going to contribute anything, especially with no points in the Stone Gaze. Also Sanking, like, he's just about to put 1 point in the Epicenter, so you can have that more damage, a bit more slow in a team fight. What if he takes plus 20 Epicenter damage per pulse, but no ulti? That'd be dope. That'd be hype. Just become a meme.
You'd become the living legend that is the meme.
Dire are scanning.
There's an old school meme, you know, back when Aghanim Scepter just increased your ulti, you know, buys Aghanim Scepter, doesn't skill ulti.
I think like one of the first weeks Hoodwink was out, I had a guy buy Ags and Shard on him. So he did nothing with that Ags and Shard purchase on Hoodwink. Static Storm. They've also got the Smoke Cloud. This is really difficult
good dodge.
for FBZ. However, he's still going to die even with the Swashbuckle. So still sitting with the 1K lead for Boom. Blink Burrow Strike. Jabs just can't get away from this Sand King.
Radiant's middle
Yeah, this is
tower
where Sanking
under
shines.
attack.
Like, he's being very active, now has boots travel, so he can contribute globally to what's happening. It's just what Fnatic needs to do is try to slow down the game, potentially get a pick off, be there when they're making initiation with Abba. Like, his positioning needs to be good. He needs to have a good read where they're gonna go to be able to counterplay with the Aphotic Shield.
Stampede, Moon, now Blink Strike away, looking for the Rolling Thunder. Burrow Strike on both! Well done by Makoto. They'll dust up Moon, they'll catch him again. Ravens come over.
Yeah, DJ is just being at the wrong side of the map, not there to use the shield.
Glimpse back, but they've got the lead. And they don't have a static storm, but the Burrow Strike comes through, and they'll get the kill on the DJ. They'll get these pickoffs, and while this is happening, I mean, Raven's just there, not contributing anything. He's just standing there.
Not much you can do as Medusa. Like, you can pop the ulti, try to use the Mystic Snake. Your damage output is really not high.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Didn't talk too much about the Morphling. Going into Manta style, which is kind of a standard stuff. Get rid of the Thunderstrike, gives you the tankiness. Morbid Mask to be able to sustain yourself in the jungle.
Interesting. I'm looking at Raven's build right now. Sun, Yasha, Ags, Epicenter, Burrow Strike with the arrow all coming through. Earth Splitter to make sure, not even needed. Hot gets the kill on a Raven, and they're going to look for more. They want to get these kills. They want to beat up these heroes on Fnatic, really jump down their throats, and they're going to look over at DJ, where Rolling Thunder bounces him up. Bounces up Juan. The Burrow Strike with borrowed time pop, double damage on Moon. He might be able to take something with this rune. The sentry plays down, the Static Storm is there. Makoto in trouble, but they've got the sleep on a bunch of these heroes. Makoto tries to run, but unfortunately he can't get far enough away, and Moon looking for more. Again, he's got that double damage. You need to be careful if you're Boom, and probably just leave at this point, which they will.
I'd say DJ doesn't feel comfortable on this ABBA. Like, he's just constantly being on the wrong side of the map. He's not having a good read where Mirana and Sanking are playing. Like, one good shield and a lot of that pressure is just mitigated. You're giving your cores space to farm. Centaur's getting closer to his Blank Dagger. Like, Riki, he's the space maker in this game, so even if he dies, you know, because he needs to put himself in a bit of a bad spot to be able to give Medusa farm, so I don't mind that, getting closer to that Diffusal Blade. Once you get that, your damage output is just going to be insane. And the lockdown, keep them inside that cloud. There is no real counterplay other than, like, ET with the possibly Spirit Sleep.
We'll see if that Diffusal ends up being enough. I'm not really sure I entirely like Blink than Boots of Travel for Makoto. Just the more and more I think about this Sand King Ags, the more and more I like it. But now he's going into the Yules, so he'll have a little bit of control there.
Moon scouting things out.
Sentry, Burrow Strike, Moon. He scouted for too long. He'll eat another arrow. He's becoming a pincushion.
You mentioned Medusa with the Aghanim Scepter. It got buffed. Let me just check the numbers. I believe it's now 1.5 plus 0.2 per bounce.
Radiant structures are fortified.
That could be really devastating. Static Storm down again. Makoto might be in some trouble. Mystic Snake comes out, but they've got the Rolling Thunder. They're moving with Juan to get the kill onto the Sand King with the Blink Dagger.
This is my problem. One of the problems with the mid Sanking is you have a lot of net worth, so you feed a lot of gold, you feed a lot of XP to the enemies whenever you die, and without having a defensive item, you're putting yourself in a bad spot. So yeah, it's 0.5, no, 1.5 plus 0.2 per bounce, Mystic Snake Ags. Before it was 1 plus 0.3, which is a big upgrade. You know, that first one is half duration longer.
Right. Also, just the stone duration increase.
Radiant's middle tower
I
is
worry
under
about
attack.
the fact that they're really not doing enough to slow down this Medusa. Both Medusa and Morphling going for Ags, but Medusa's going to have it first.
Dire are scanning. Radiant are
Still
scanning.
just a sliver of a lead here for Boom. Is there a point right now where maybe they can take Roshan Boom to extend this lead?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Their heroes are okay-ish, nothing too special. You know, Morphling has the sustain with the Morbid Mask, deals ton of damage, minus armor. Plus, disarm from the Lucky Shot is good, but other heroes don't really deal damage to Roshan.
Also really like this build from Jabs. We don't normally see this from Disruptors.
It's a position for Disruptor.
Yeah.
He found the fillet. This is the dream game, you know, we'll get a bit of farm priority compared to coming from position 5. Eventually, he will have that Aghanim Scepter.
That could be huge to turn around these fights. Cell, 1,600 gold away from that Ags, and they do go into Roche. They've got the arrow, they have a medallion, they almost have the Solar Crest finished. Is this going to be quick enough? DJ roaming over, and he's going to spot this.
Raven, he just has enough gold to buy the full Aghanim Scepter. It's done.
Blink move stomp goes into the air. They've got the Static Storm down onto 2. They get the kill on the Kescute. They'll look over. DJ taking a bit of damage, but it's going to be enough to really turn this around. Moon focuses his attention over onto the Mirana as the smoke screen down, but it's not enough to get the kill. Hyde now pops the Moonlight Shadow. They get the borrowed time popped on DJ, so he'll start to run. Raven has Stone Gaze and the Ags. You need to be careful about how much you're putting in to commit for this. On top of which, you've now left Roche at half health.
It's like they don't expect that Roshan is going to go down so slowly. Their heroes are not that great at taking the Roshan. And Medusa managed to farm the Aghanim Scepter, has an Imp Claw, so she deals damage. You know, you can feel the right clicks, but the most damage is going to come from this Riki, who's going onto the supports. There's one defensive item on Mirana, so she can buy some time to spell that slow coming out from the Diffusal Blade.
They're going to TP top.
It's just Boom is in a state where they need to keep fighting, because late game, it just belongs to Fnatic. Their heroes are too good.
They're trying to make a move on a Moon, who they've killed 4 times. But again, it doesn't feel like it's even enough. Raven's actually near mid. If they can get an eye on him, they might jump. But there's a lot of heroes here for Fnatic that would make that difficult. And they're going to push in the mid-tier 1, or at least try to.
As said earlier, I was the former CEO of Undying Hate Club. Now I might be opening up a new one, different names, Sanking mid. Like, he invests 4,000 gold into Boots of Travel and a Blink Dagger. And this doesn't give you any tankiness, it's just the mobility, pretty much. Now has a Yule Scepter at least, so he can get rid of the dusts, possibly buy some time after he initiates. But this 2-core scaling lineup from Fnatic, it's going to be very hard for them to fight into that. They have multiple ways of resetting. They have Stampede, they have a Photic Shield, they have Medusa ulti. So if they don't like the fight, they just say, you know, press one of these abilities and say, we're out.
Yeah, there's a lot lacking from the mid Sand King, and we've seen this story. We've seen it time and time again, and it doesn't feel like the Sand King build is adapting.
Nah, it's just pretty much the same build. Sometimes you see a BKB instead of that Yule Scepter, but there is no way to itemize this hero to be able to, like, deal damage. Maybe E-Blade at one point to amplify the damage from your Sandstorm, Borrow Strike, and Epi.
Broken on both teams. Blink Hoof Stop, that's going to land under the Morphling as well as this Pangolier. They'll go towards the other tank, who will get the Earth Splitter off. That'll land, but the stun on the Drumacell still exists. He's got that Ags, and he's morphed into the Centaur. I don't know if that's who you really want to be morphing into. Epicenter, Burrow Strike onto the backlines, onto the Centaur as well as the Disruptor. Can they get the kill? This is a nice Static Storm and Kinetic Field on the Hyde before he dies, but it's just not enough damage. They'll look to pick up the haste, but the stun. DJ, he gets the haste. So Drumacell trying to fight, but you can see the Mystic Snake that turns him to stone, being a big problem. They'll start to retreat, the waveform back. Kescute, he's nearby. Maybe looking to land a sleep. It's back and forth, but not really much of an outcome for either team.
This is the strength of the team that I talked about, like being able to reset. Riki was not in that fight, I believe, and now Medusa, you know, she's just farming another item. Has Scotty queued up into Butterfly. These are also heroes that don't build any kind of evasion dealing items. Like Morphling does not want to get MKB, so it could be a bit problematic as well.
Makoto going into a BKB, and you feel the difference. Makoto, he gives you a Burrow Strike, a little bit of control, maybe some damage off the epicenter. But then, I guess the difference, even with 4 deaths, even with the mid lane not going well, Moon picks up the Diffusal Blade, he's going into the BKB, then the Shard. Like, It just seems like he outputs way more than what the Sand King's giving, and you've gone
At
two
this
mobility
point, Sand King
items.
is still very strong. You know, multiple burrow strikes, being annoying, epicenter damage is pretty high.
Burrow Strike, Stampede, that gets used. Arrow misses.
This is the second time Juan is using Stampede just to run away from the arrow.
They're immediately coming in. They've used the Rolling Thunder. That'll hit the Medusa, and I guess give him the information to start to think about backing off. I say that, but he morphs into the Sand King. Not sure.
That's much better. Last time he morphed into Centaur. Not much value out of that one. So you have this long initiation Burrow Strike followed up by another Burrow Strike potentially. DJ. Just position 5 Abba going into Solar.
Doesn't get the double damage.
Solar Crest gonna be a big one. Use it on Medusa. Great way of amplifying the damage. Jabs. Has Aghanim Scepter done? Fele, man, sometimes this item just feels so good. If you find it in certain games, let's say Grimstroke, they have this agility carry, you farm the Aghanim Scepter, you're like, what up? What are you gonna do about it? Could potentially be the same thing here. You know, they have ways of setting things up. Centaur, Blink Dagger, into Static Storm, muting the items. It's definitely one of the best, like top 3 Aghanim Scepter upgrades in the game.
Yeah, getting that quick Ags. I'm not even sure if Morphling is going to be able to pop the BKB if he does go for it. He's going to turn his attention towards getting a Scotty. They've got the Solar Crest finish on Kezcute. They found themselves Kezcute. Peeks out a little bit too far. So Moonlight Shadow gets activated, but that's not with the intention of fighting. That's more with the intention of trying to save their Elder Titan. So that'll be down.
Now Scotty's done. Like the Stone Gaze has Mystic Snake with the Aghanims upgrade, turning them into stone. Plus a Scotty slow. It's just gonna be too much, I believe. We'll see. Like these two Sand Kings, they could make the difference, but there are ways of fighting into that.
Can they kill Medusa first?
They don't have enough burst damage, no. There's no like E-Blade, ET Aura is maxed out with the Solar Crest. They also need a prolonged team fight, you know. Try to play around Medusa, reset, wait until there's no Stone Gaze, there's no Static Storm, possibly buy back on 1 or 2 heroes, secure the Roche. Because I don't think they can just go in and bring Medusa down from 100 to 0. They need to be able to reset.
Courier? But he already got the BKB off of it. Had he not gotten that BKB?
BKB on Ricky, so it's going to be much easier for him to deal the damage. Can also focus different heroes. Also holding on to Dust to be able to deal with the Sand King. Sand King has a way of dispelling things with the Yule Scepter.
Man, Fnatic are all the way on the opposite side of the map. They have wrapped all the way around.
Radiant's can't connect it, so they know where they are. Right now, they're also holding the high ground. Both teams actually on the high ground, just want to have a advantage of the vision.
Morph went BKB, so he had Scotty and BKB queued, but he goes to the BKB instead. It's not going to get delivered immediately to him. He's actually trying to send it all the way up and around. That courier needs to be careful.
And it goes back.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
In Roche.
Dire are scanning.
Dire scan, thinking that they're in Roche.
Radiant's
Tricks of the
top
trade,
tower is
host stop,
under
dust, all coming through. On Makoto, Roche trying to get involved, but they've got the Rolling Thunder. There's also Static Storm coming in. So now they look over. Burrow Strike, that's not really going to land with Waveform forward, focusing their attention on the jabs for a second. They've got Raven hit up thanks to the Rolling Thunder. They bought back on the Centaur, who Roche killed. Smoke screen down, Dreamacell in trouble. He needs to be careful. He's silenced for a while, pops the BKB, the Stone Gaze, and Dreamacell, he's dead. He
didn't even morph. Like, he had the time to morph. He's just sitting there.
Makoto running from Moon. Brings him under a Sentry Ward. While that's going on, Hyde getting chased. He'll leap, try to get some distance, gets into the trees, and TPs away.
Buyback from a Centaur, so he needs to be a bit more careful what's happening. But yeah, I'm wondering if they want to give this Aegis to Medusa, because Medusa doesn't die. Like, it's one way to siege the base with Medusa, but we'll have to see. Maybe Ricky picks it up instead? Because Medusa doesn't feel killable at the moment. She's just too tanky. 2.3k mana pool, 2.7 with Abba using the Solar Crest on her.
Sweep. Just extending how long this is going to take to get Roche, but eventually they'll grab it. Not enough time to get Morph back into the fight. Even morphing into, say, the Medusa. I mean, is that enough?
I don't think it is.
Because you've got the axe. You have the Mystic Snake bouncing, turning him into stone, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm also very surprised by the fact that he didn't morph in the previous fight at all. Maybe he thought he was morphing, but didn't.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Thunder fainted for a second. Sentry down. I believe that caught a glimpse of the moon.
Radiant's middle tower is under
They're going
attack.
to try and make a move here onto the Centaur for a second. Burrow Strike on cooldown for the Morphin. They've got Rolling Thunder, the Pummeling Light Shadow.
That's a big kill.
The smoke screen down. They'll get the Kona Gem. They'll look over at the Centaur.
And
Did buy back
another
in the
one.
last fight, so they've got themselves two. Dream of Sail getting a double kill. They'll look over at DJ for a second. FBZ turns to stone. They've got themselves a Sentry down, so even the Moonlight Shadow is not going to be enough to put them under the guise of the shadows. They look over at DJ, whose borrowed time will be popped. Moon comes back in. A Sentry plays down, so they have the vision on Moon once again. He pops the BKB. DJ dies. Dream of Sail with the triple kill. And now Moon trying to TP away with the BKB. He will.
They left
He
Medusa.
leaves Raven. He gets hit by the whip, slowing him down.
One-man
Stun
army.
Game's used, going for the regen. They'll buy back on the Abaddon to try and keep him alive. He's got the Aegis. It's not just about keeping him alive once. It's about getting him out with both lives too. Raven can't go up the steps, as that's going to be the swoop that hits him. They're getting rid of the mana, but the Mystic Snake once again. Burrow Strike comes in from Makoto. They've got the arrow. This really just takes forever, and this is only one life. They'll look at DJ, who
They
did
know
buy
Abba
back.
doesn't have
He doesn't
ulti.
have borrow time for 10 seconds. Kezq turned to stone and glimpse back via Jax, who's back alive again. They'll get the kill into Kezq.
Only buyback from DJ. Like, they were waiting. Also, Jabs had a buyback, but did not want to use it straight away after getting caught. He might also think about getting a different item. Yeah, Blink Dagger is nice, but this long-range initiation from the Morphling when he is sanking could completely ruin you. So maybe potentially like Eon Disc could be a better choice, because they don't have a Glimmer Cape. Abba went for Solar Crest, which is completely fine. You want to be able to buff up your Medusa. Now full Butterfly done on her. She also finds Enchanted Quiver. She'll gladly take it.
To go on time to kill the Medusa. Oh, TP stopped, thinking about moving in on this, but Fnatic are here.
Bottom tower is under attack.
They go BKB on the Sand King. We'll see if that's enough for Makoto. They'll go to the Moonlight Shadow. Swashbuckle doesn't land on Raven. They're coming around the back.
Are scanning.
Dust early. I can't believe that hit anybody on Radiant.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Dev's trying to go to the backlines once again, but you look at the positioning from the Fnatic heroes. Look how far back Jabs is. To get to him, you have to go through everybody on the side of Fnatic to even have an opportunity to kill this Disruptor.
Dire's top tower
He's very
is
careful
under
about his
attack.
positioning on Disruptor, staying further away from everything. Now has a Psychic Headband to work with. Like, you just keep both of these items. Like, in a fight, you use a Psychic Headband, swap that Philly Stone, but right now just keeping it to be able to farm the Blink Dagger, and it's up.
He's going Shard next. And this next Roche, Shard for a lot of heroes is going to be pretty
Thunderstrike
disgusting.
Shard is good because it gives allies 50% move speed and 75 attack speed. Imagine that on Medusa plus the Solar Crest. It's just a ton of damage.
Disruptor, you could buy the Shard if he holds on to the Philly, but he's giving it up for the Psychic Headband. Maybe you give the Shard over to the Medusa to get cold-blooded.
Ricky also has a shard.
Static Storm
That's
on
such a
FBZ.
sick setup.
And the Shard, the Sleeping Dart into the Static Storm.
Yeah, that's gotta be something you need to be careful. I don't know how you itemize against that other than getting a Lilgun sphere.
It's a pretty low cooldown.
It's 12-second cooldown. That shard is one of my favorite shards in the game for sure, because you can do so many things with it, as we could see. You know,
now that the
and they
target is
don't,
no longer vulnerable.
and they don't have like any counterplay. There is not a single save. So if he gets, you know, one sleeping dart into Static Storm on Morphling, he's just gone. And he changes his item build straight away. Dreamcell is like, yeah, I wanted to go for a Scotty, but I need to be able to take care of myself, not die to this combo. Switches back immediately to Lilgun Sphere.
2 heroes turn to stone as they take the tier 3. Medusa very, very, very insert 10 more very farmed and has gone shard, so has cold-blooded.
He also decided to go for the Mystic Snake talent, minus 3-second cooldown, which brings it down to 7. So I kind of like that. You know, Stone Gate duration is good, extra 2 seconds, but with
strike.
the axe, Burrow mid.
DJ, they've got the host on that lands on a Makoto who's under the Static Storm. They've got the 4-step to try and keep him alive. They'll land the Suka, go to the Earth Splitter of the end. This being popped, they'll get the Makoto Jabs. They'll end up losing Makoto. Makoto has buyback, so does Jabs. Stampede gets used. FPC is gone. They've used the Stampede. So they buy back on Makoto, but I'm not certain that's going to lead to much.
I'm not sure if they can take this fight.
Okay. He's dead. He walked up, turned to stone, got hoof stomp, and then was dead immediately.
And Sanking game is down the drain. No buyback for a minute and 30 seconds. Crystal is down on Medusa, getting closer to level 25.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
So Raven will just take this Ceterax.
Arrow.
Hits.
They have a Photic Shield.
Can they kill Raven?
Radiant's top barracks.
They've just let this Medusa go on too long
Radiant's
untouched.
top barracks has fallen.
They'll go through mid now as they've taken top. They don't have Sand King for 53, so
He can't even morph into Sand King anymore, so that's another problem.
Is under attack.
This is going to be at least 2 set of barracks, 40 seconds, a long time. Disarm, just purge it off, dispel it. Catching the arrow, nicely done by Raven, keeping the catapults alive. Solar Crest, done.
and just take the rats.
And they also give her attack speed plus a move speed with that Thunderstrike shard.
Radiant's middle
Time to get out. Roche may respawn in 30 seconds. Time to go back in.
SQ, 4-staff back, and trying to get the host stop, but Moon just jumps in with a blink strike. They'll get the kill with BKB being popped. There's no way to kill
Eon
Moon at the moment. The Aeon Disc gets popped again on the Centaur.
Chuan got controlled so many times with the burrow strikes, the arrows, rolling thunder inside the pit, so he decides to get Eon Disc, which is not an item we usually see on a Centaur, but I think it's a good pickup here. So 2 set of barracks gone. Sanking finally out. Let's see the Roche. 2 minutes, 20 seconds.
On the hide. And they'll have the kill once again. The damage is just too much for them. They're going to go in with the Stone Gaze, Rolling Thunder, going the opposite
FP
direction.
on the ground.
Static Storm, it's
Oh,
down, but it's
that
not
really
gonna be enough.
showed.
And, well, Dreamcell, he's gone, has buyback.
Wow, he really showed those trees what the epicenter looks like. They just don't have enough damage.
Yeah, and that is really where you're lacking on Sand King at times, it feels like, where he's not really producing much, especially
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
when a lot of what he's itemizing around is mobility. So they're trying to defend the last set. Last tier 3.
Radiant's bottom tower
The last tier 3 is gone. Buyback used by Dreamcell. Blink, Burrow, Strike, Smoke Screen down into the hook stop Makoto. You've welcomed yourself and you've exited yourself. They'll get the kill onto Makoto. They look over as Ken's Q Hill fall too. And Dreamcell, all he can do is run. He's throwing an adaptive strike. He's running. He's trying to get out of here, but they've got him turned to stone once again. He'll pop the Manta. He'll die once more. GG is called. Fnatic reverse sweep it, and they will take the series 2-1 over Boom.
Nice done. I'm a big fan of this Aghanims on Medusa, where it's a good setup. You know, it's a 1.5 second stone. You can't do anything. Set up for another stun.
Yeah.
Just a good itemization coming on from them. You know, Ricky on the mid lane. It's a Sanking favorite matchup. He pushes the lane into your tower. You're still gonna get the farm. At the end of the day, you're a Sank. I think this hero on the mid lane is a huge bait. Like I feel like teams are falling into a trap where like it feels good. Same goes for Luna. This is the same feeling I got for these two heroes, where just on paper sounds good. You know, I'm just gonna dumpster my lane. But what happens next? This two-core lineup from Fnatic, just too much damage. You know, they get this Diffusal Blade, BKB, Medusa unkillable. You could see how much time they needed to kill her with that Aegis.
Yeah, I think the Sand King, like you said, it's a bait, and nobody's changing the build on it. Like, you're not trying to innovate it at all. You've got 2k lead, and you're using it to buy Blink and Boots of Travel.
Yeah, it was like 8-minute Blink dagger with no ulti.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what you got to do with the Sand King to make it work, but to break it down a little bit further for you and Fnatic's victory, throw it over to the panel.
Sand King's not the problem. Fnatic have all the answers that are necessary as they have picked up their first series victory. It's only their second series in the DPC Season 2, but it inspires confidence after a weak Singapore major performance and a questionable game, 2 games versus Execration, and a questionable game 1 versus Boom. Fnatic have managed to turn things around. Baby steps, we said. Game 2, it was a high execution draft. Made a few mistakes here and there. Here, it looked pretty much flawless.
They needed the win, and it came off of a wonky draft, something different. We've seen position 4 Disruptor rushing that Aghanims, and then you get the dart on the Ricky, which forces Morphling into buying a Linken's after all of the defensive items that he already bought, which pretty much makes their team have 0 damage. He never morphs into ET, so he never gets that going for himself. It was usually the Centaur or the Sand King, so overall, yeah, I expected more from Boom, especially in this game. I thought that Sand King, I still feel like you can play Sand King mid and you can win with it, but the problem arises when you go Travels and Blink Dagger with all that gold, and then you die from a dust. You get dusted, then you die in Sandstorm. You can't. This hero needs time to deal the damage. He needs to be the one that jukes you a little bit around the Sandstorm, around the trees, and then stuns you again with that ulti. That's how you play it. That's where the power lies. But if you don't have the ability to do that, if you die after the one impale, it all falls apart.
Yeah, the initial draft looked very good from Boom. I actually thought they had all the tools they needed to win this game, but like a lot of very questionable, at least for me, decisions, especially from the Morphling. Not only the itemization, but we saw him pretty much turn exclusively into the Sand King, even though he's like an Elder Titan on his team. And even after he picked up that Aghanims, he still turned into a Centaur as well.
Yeah.
So, very...